It's that time. It's that time. It's that place. I don't think you guys can hear the music that's playing. We're on the internet. How's it going? How was y'all's week? How is everything? Ooh, wait. Making it just a little bit louder there. Let me know if that's too loud. The early crew came out in force today. Hello. Coop Waffles, welcome in. Fosco, good to see you. Nuriochi, always a pleasure. Welcome, welcome. Ignis, welcome in. Monkey Just, Crypt Right, hello, hello. Lord Rod, my lord. The Omega Gambit. How are y'all doing? How's everything? How was your week? I asked that one time already. I am less crazy. I've taken some time. I've come back to a regular baseline. We're not going to have a repeat of last week where I couldn't get through sentences in the codex. It's going to be fine. Codex and Infernum and Codex Exaltum will be mine. Dude, they're so good. Here's the thing. We were kind of getting drip fed like the art from both codexes as it was being completed by David North. And just, holy God, all of the art that's in both of those books is full color. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And like some of it is like disturbing. I don't know. I'm famously a big wimpy baby about that sort of deal. But like, it's cool. Like I don't know. It's art that like, it moved me. So I think it'll move some of y'all too. Better now? Hell yeah. Hey, Kev, welcome in. How are you? Happy early birthday to Monkey Just. Happy birthday, Monkey Just. When's your birthday? Do you have any birthday plans? A cheers. Just watched the movie Nefarious. Demons Are Real. Nefarious. That's not the recent one. That's Nosferatu. Nefarious, 2023 film. A Christian horror thriller film about a psychiatrist evaluating a death row inmate who claims to be a demon, or the adjective meaning wicked or evil. That sounds cool. I love the stories behind horror movies. I'll never watch one, but I will read the recap on Wikipedia. I ordered the bundle today. I can't wait to get them. I can't wait for you to get them. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. The wait was long. The wait was long, but I think it's going to be completely worth it. They're just, I mean, they're stunning. And the content is really cool. I particularly really liked the Divine Mount section in Codex Exaltum. I tell everyone he is 20 years old plus shipping. Friday, 45, nothing planned, the way I like it. That sounds awesome. I'm kind of at the point, too, where I'd like to spend my birthday just kind of in a dark room with no screens, no news, nothing happening. Just no sounds, nothing going on. Must resist until my Mad Money Fund re-ups. Gotta wait for the respawn. Well, hey, I hope when you get it that you love it. I don't know, the angels that are in Codex Exaltum in particular, they're not like, I don't know, some of them are probably good. There are probably some good angels in there, but majority is a little bit more lawful than good, it seems. Happy belated birthday, Semper Fi. Just me and a pile of mushrooms. Hell yeah. Read through your adventure, Grace. Great stuff. Thank you. Did you say in an earlier Twitch that you designed all the bad guys from scratch? You have a good memory. I did. I could have done like the sensible, time responsible thing to do and like pulled from one of the many scores of amazing monster stats from Monsters and Treasure of Aihrde. But I like making monsters. So, yeah, I'm glad that you liked it. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Some of the angel art looks terrifying. Yeah, freaking... Oh, I'm blanking on the name now, and I don't have like the newsletter in front of me, but in the newsletter that went out today, there's an angel that has like a plaque over his eyes, and he has wings. I think no arms. That guy is cool. Oh my god, we can get... Why we stay small? Listen, we gotta stay small. I'm sorry, we gotta gatekeep. Hang on. Wait. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. Don't click on links, y'all. Japan has locations where signals are blocked for the time you spend there, cafes for a few hours, and spas and temples for longer. Dude, that sounds awesome. That sounds really, really, really nice. That's actually one of my like dream goals, to like go to one of those like Japanese spas that you can like spend the night in. I think that sounds really cool. Or an early Christmas present to myself. I mean, I'm not saying you should definitely do it, but I am saying that you should definitely do it. Hey, Curran and Donkey Juice, welcome in. How are y'all doing? Now I stay small forever. Dang it. Dang. We missed our chance, guys. Darn. When you designed the bad guys from scratch, what process did you go by? I was just bugging Steve. We need books for designing monsters and traps. Yeah, we do. That would be really cool. So I don't want to like say too much about it, but I pulled from real life a little bit. The thing about Blood and Briar is that I don't think I've said this on the internet before. I've told some people, but Blood and Briar is full of like Easter eggs about my life. The whole thing's about me. Not really. But I kind of started with like personality a little bit. Maybe that's like vague. I'm not super experienced at it either. But I kind of started with like what kind of presence and like personality I wanted these like beings to have, like as emotional like beings. So that was kind of where I started, and then like kind of branched off abilities from there based on like kind of the person that I crafted inside the monster. God, whenever I talk about this shit, I don't know if it sounds like it feels pretentious to me. I'm super inexperienced. This was kind of my first like foray into this. I did run like a 2-year-long 5e campaign and did a lot of my own monsters for that. And it was a similar kind of thing where I was thinking about people first, and then the monster was kind of like the flesh around the skeleton. We have spaces like that here. They're called closets. Oh my god. I was gonna make a joke about being in the closet. I'm gonna reel that one back in. Oh, question about the campaign you ran with the cats. They had a necklace that would clear the minds of the Darkenfold effects. Would that necklace have helped the abomination creature that told them to run because you couldn't resist hurting them for very long? I would say so. I would rule that as a yes. It would not have like reverted him from his like monsterified form, but I think that it would have helped him. It would have cleared the fog from his mind. Good memory. I'm flattered that you remembered. The amulet in the Blood and Briar written adventure is the one that you find in Marcel Rideau's laboratory. I kind of assumed that they were going to like give it to one of the Red Cloak Order people potentially, but I actually don't remember if they did or not. Maybe they did do that. Person inside the monster, Kinder Egg creatures. So I start with a Kinder Egg. It starts with I eat a lot of chocolate and then we just let the day go where it goes. I do enjoy the simplicity of C&C monsters, but on the other side of the coin, not having ability scores or separate to hit bonuses make them a bit hard to use certain spells or tweak them easily. God, I don't even think that I've watched the video. My boyfriend has for sure watched it, and we've talked about it a lot. Matt Colville's stuff for building monsters. I wish that I could even recommend a video title for you. I don't remember what the video is called. But even hearing about it secondhand from someone else was like really inspiring. He talks about like the extra actions that you can give a monster like throughout a round of combat that are like triggered by certain other things. I think his video is catered more towards 5e, where your players have a bunch of different actions and stuff that they can do like during combat. But yeah, it talked about like certain types of actions triggering additional actions for the monster. I really like that. I don't think anything in Blood and Briar had that sort of ability that I remember. I don't think so, but I really like when a monster is able to get around damage and bonus points if it can actually like shunt it off onto somebody else. I just think that's fun. Action-oriented monsters. Do you want to come talk about it real quick? Just if you want to. Hey, Wandering Silence, how's it going? Action-oriented monsters.
I'm in my apron.
Nick just made us some excellent pasta. Wait, come a little closer.
Oh, I can remove my apron.
Waffles, thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. Man, oh man.
Matt Colville's Action-Oriented Monsters video is a great resource if you're just wanting to make fun monsters. The secret of making a monster is that it can kind of do whatever you want it to do.
Which is like an obvious statement to hear, but I definitely didn't think of it that way until I saw it in action.
I think it's a red herring to feel like you have to like make it fit within some kind of system or use some sort of system to make your monster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people do it all the time. Like you adjust things on the fly. If it's doing too much, you can just cut some abilities.
Mm-hmm. Being able to improvise and like not just rely on the stat block is a skill all on its own. I for sure get the tunnel vision of like needing to run stuff like it is on the paper and not allowing for room of like, what if something really cool happens and it just needs a little bit of a different ruling to accommodate it or something like that.
Yeah. A lot of monsters like don't last more than like 3 or 4 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can make abilities that like this ability just goes off on round 1 and you can make it happen whenever you want. You can make it happen on the player's turn. You can make it like as a reaction to something they do, or like when the monster hits half health is always a really easy like
berserk. They go into a frenzy.
Yeah, or like anything. And
bloodlust.
It doesn't have to even just be like does damage. It can like move
binds the
players.
target, move players,
immobilize them,
yeah,
make them swap places or something, do crazy stuff to like shake them up. I think it's so hard to like make a one monster fight feel like challenging.
It can be tough. In C&C it's a little easier.
And like challenging, but also like fun and dynamic, and not just like you're just trying to beat it until it's down.
The hit machine.
Yeah, right.
Combat shouldn't be a hit machine. It should be a role play thing.
It's a puzzle.
It's a puzzle. That's a great way to think about it.
Combat should be a puzzle.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
But
thanks for coming and chatting about action-oriented monsters, Nicholas.
It's a great video. I would recommend it. And he also put out a book to like advertise for somebody else, but
Check out Matt Colville's book.
I'm
Thanks.
sewing his baby who had an accident.
What?
Trouble's baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Matt Colville's baby.
Oh yeah, I'm sewing Matt Colville's baby.
Actually, would you bring Trouble up here?
Sure.
If you don't mind, if you have a second. I want to show him off. You guys are going to lose your minds. Trouble doesn't look real right now. He just got a haircut. One last question. I missed the character they played before that named Georgie. Are you guys planning any more campaign? So, I also missed Georgie, and I missed the cats. We were just texting the other day. The thing is, with that, I would love to work with them again. Only issue is our budget for Twitch has been scaled back a little bit, and the Charisma Cats are very talented, super enjoyable, very funny ladies, and their time isn't free. So we want to make sure that we can pay them for their time and skills. Look at this little man. Oh, he's so handsome. Wait, I gotta like show them your face, bud. I gotta show them your face. I have to tell you guys what happened the other day when he was getting his hair cut. Hey, Noble Shield, how's it going? So he got his hair cut yesterday. Don't scratch. And we were like waiting in line at checkout to pay for his handsome, handsome boy haircut. And he wasn't even really like sitting that still. I think the woman just wasn't paying attention. I don't know what she thought I was doing, but he like moved and she went, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was fake. I didn't think he was a real dog." So I was just, I don't know what she thought I was up to. Like just.
You were just LARPing at PetSmart.
Standing there with a fake dog, pretending to check, like, I don't know, pretending to walk a fake dog. But he's very handsome. He knows it. Loves to give kisses. Very handsome boy. Oh boy, thank you. Appreciate it, thank you. But yeah, so we want to make sure that if they're going to join us, we want to be able to compensate them for their time. Because, you know, I'm compensated for my time doing this stuff. And, like, you know, so hopefully soon, we would like to see, I think, Twitch generating a little bit more of a healthy, like, budget for us that we can then put back into those games and others like it, ideally. I already have a bunch planned. But all three of them are on the internet. They've all got like Instagram and they all do cool stuff. I'm so behind, I'm sorry. All monsters should also have something in their pocket that make you wonder what quest it starts, even if it doesn't. Yes! Oh my god, giving them little baubles and trinkets and things that look meaningful. I have that same apron. I use it when I'm working with wood. Hell yeah. Dude, Fosco, holy shit. Dude, thank you so much. I hope that didn't feel like solicity, me telling you guys that. It was not meant to be that way at all, but holy shit, thank you. As I just explained, that helps us a ton when y'all give subs and like support the channel. We put it right back into Twitch, so thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. You rock. Hope need the cats back. I'll tell them that you guys want them back because that would make them very happy to hear. My doodle looks like a poodle after a haircut and like Sprocket from Fraggle Rock 6 weeks later. They get a little scrungly. Doodles are prone to being a little bit scrungly. And I am not Sympathy. Thank you for the follow and thanks for joining us. Dogs make life better. They make life so much better. Honestly, that little man, that little boy makes my life just worth living. He's the best. He's my best buddy. Oh my god. Holy shit. Lord Rod, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so, so much. Do not feel pressured in any way to gift subs or like anything like that. But thank you so much. You rock. It helps us a lot. Thank you so, 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 so much. Really, thank you. Man, oh man. Well, now I'm all flustered and I don't know what to do with myself. You guys are way too nice. Thank you. You are wunderbar. Oh my god. Wandering silence. Holy shit. Dude, thank you. What are you guys on? What's going on? There's something in the air tonight. Keep doing your things and inspiring people. Keep telling stories and encouraging creativity. Keep being awesome. And you as well, my friend. Thank you so, so much. That's huge. That's a not insignificant amount of money. That's very huge. Thank you so much. I will you know what? I'm going to let everyone know. We want the cats back. Everyone's going to hear about it. We're doing it. I'm making a plan. 2026, I'm campaigning. You are a scholar and a gentleman. You are all scholars and gentlemen. PAX Unplugged is coming up soon. Yes. I don't think we're going to be there. I asked recently because someone else was asking if we're going to be there. I don't think we will be. But take lots of pictures. Allow me to live vicariously through you and enjoy the con through your enjoyment. Are you coming to Page in January? I'm not. I would love to. I just want to go and take pictures. But no, not me. I think Chuck might be going. Maybe Chuck and Dakota? Potentially? Maybe. The library will be there, and I will be telling everyone about TNT. Wait, what's TNT? Trolls and teeth. CNC. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Word of mouth, I think, is the best way to learn about cool new things. So we appreciate the word of mouth advocacy. It's very, very cool of you. And I hope you have a great time. All of you guys that are going to Page and PAX U and everything, like, play some games, have a fun time, enjoy it. And tell me all about it so I can enjoy it through you. But hey, it's been 20 minutes. I haven't completely lost my gourd. I think it's time that we jump back into Aihrde and start talking lore. So let's do that. Thank you all again, everyone who donated subs. Lord Rod, Wandering Silence, and Fosco. You guys fucking rule. That was so, so cool of you. Thank you so much. Tunnels and Trolls. It was an alternative during AT&T. Is that real? Tunnels and Trolls? I think I did hear about that. ArcadeCon last weekend was a blast. 6 sessions of CNC. Hell yeah. I heard that we had more Siege games scheduled at ArcadeCon than WotC had D&D or Paizo had Pathfinder. We had the most games at ArcadeCon. So I hope you loved them. Because that sounds like a fucking party. We need to do TrollCon. I don't think it needs to be anything other than just all of us hanging out and playing games. 4 were mine. Dude, how do they go? I promise we'll read. We will read. I'm not going to get distracted. We will play our 20th session of our first CNC campaign. Damn! How long has that been going on? It was a great game of the... Oh, man! Have y'all gamed together before? Or was it like for the first time at this con? We started this year. Oh, man! That's so awesome. I'm back on the CNC kick, planning an open table campaign at my LGS for the new year. That rules. That's so cool. I'm tempted every day to try to start something like that. We have a game store nearby, and every day I'm a little bit more tempted to like go down there with the books and be like, let me just have a table. Let me just have one table. All I need is one player, just one person who's interested. That's all. I was introduced to CNC during ArcadeCon, didn't think I needed another tabletop RPG until I played CNC, walked out with several books, and I'm hooked. That is my favorite story, and it's a tale as old as time, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was a 5e monogamist. I hadn't really ever played anything else before, and CNC just gave me like a different... it just really evoked a different feeling. You know what I mean? We met at a Cade Con, new friendships were made. Oh, that's the best. I love it when that happens. How many of you guys are going to be at GaryCon? Thank you all for the hype train. Again, that level of support was not something that I was expecting. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. CNC does that. Yeah, it's a feature. Feature, not a bug. That is a great emote. But yeah, I'm very excited for GaryCon. To my knowledge, that's the only one that I'm going to be at, as far as I know. We've been talking about like scaling back our con appearances. I hope that that doesn't mean that we schedule less games at cons. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. I'll be at GaryCon. We met during Steve's big game. Oh my god. Okay, I remember. Yeah. Are you gonna play again? He's right, and it was great meeting and playing with your brother. Oh, the friendships that are made at cons, they just make me so happy. Wish I could go to Gary. My son will be in Spain, and maybe me too. Dude, I hope you get to go to Spain. That rocks. You know, if you can't be at GaryCon, Spain is a pretty good alternative. I'll be in Spain without the S until then. I love the TLG commercials. Dude, thank you. We need some more. Oh, I remember what I wanted to like crowdsource you guys for ideas. We're thinking of doing an advent calendar where every day you can log into this little website, not log in, but just access this little like website that has like an advent calendar, and every day of December you can like click on one of the boxes and it'll open and it'll give you something. So, would you be interested in like one-time like discounts, like coupon codes, like free gaming content, GM tips? What else? I don't know. If anything comes to mind, let me know, because I would love to like put stuff in there that you guys want to see. Hey, Pastor Welby, welcome in. I have my badge and room booked for GaryCon. Let's go. Very exciting. All of the above. Yes. Noted. We need trollings in different regions prepared to run sessions. Yeah, exactly. We need like troll cells in all of the states. Okay. Old maps, previous giveaways. Ooh. A giveaway would be cool. But technically the whole thing is a giveaway. But maybe that would be cool. Maybe like you click on day 1 and then on day 30 there's like a drawing for everyone who clicked on day 1. That might be kind of cool. Maybe. More Grace Monster. Oh, I got Grace Monsters. I got some in the tank. I've been working on the like noir adventure that I told you guys about last week when I was fucking insane. I don't know what I was dealing with last week. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. But I've been working more on that adventure this week, and I'm proud of it. The only like monster that I've done for it so far are city guards with a twist. So maybe we'll put in some city guards with a twist. That might be kind of fun. I need to learn more about Amazing Adventures. Amazing Adventures is awesome, particularly as like an expansion to CNC. I like having Amazing Adventures classes in Castles and Crusades. It just gives it flavor. It's nice. Old 5e PDFs. Potentially, that could be nice. BTT material. Ooh, that's a good idea too. Hang on, I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget it. Holy shit! Tim! Thank you for the subs, buddy. How you doing? Aren't you live, like, tonight? What, the squanch? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for gifting those subs, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. That's very, very cool of you. You rule. Thank you so much. Hey, you guys, speaking of Stronghold D&D and Guild Superior and Folk and Myth and Phantom NJ and a bunch of other amazing streamers that I'm blanking on the full list, but hey, Stronghold D&D is here and he's participating. We're doing a fundraiser for Feeding America. So anytime you see Stronghold D&D or Guild Superior or just anyone that we know live, go visit, because they're raising money for a really awesome cause to help keep people fed throughout the holiday. And I think it's something like every $1 feeds 10 people. It's like 10 meals every $1. So last night the goal was 1,400 and we hit that by the end of the stream with Guild Superior. So hey, go hang out with some awesome C&C and D&D and tabletop RPG streamers and support an awesome cause, because they're doing very, very good things for a lot of people right now. We're taking a break. Well, hey, have a good break. It's lovely to see you here. Crossover monsters. Oh, fuck. That. Waffles. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. I'm writing that down. Feed America. Put food right in its maw. But hey, I said we were gonna read like 10 minutes ago. So we're gonna read. Last we left off at the Codex of Aihrde. We ended the night at page 185 of the Codex of Aihrde for anyone who's following along at home. We talked about the dragon, rather. Really, what's the difference? The dragon Frafnog, who was born from the dragon god Inza, who was kind of like the foil to Aihrde. She's not an antagonistic figure, but she, where Aihrde is kind of the representative of like creation and positive energy, she's the representation of like destruction. Aihrde is wisdom, Inza is intelligence. They're kind of like these opposing, but they have a friendly sort of relationship, it seems. Inza is the only thing in the multiverse that we know of in Aihrde that the Allfather didn't create. So that's pretty cool. And she made a deal with the Allfather where she wanted trees for her world, in Zaya, which is a setting source book that you can get in the store. And to trade, to receive trees from the Allfather, she gave him dragons. Mordias was really not happy about that. A lot of the gods weren't, but the Allfather went forward with the deal because the Allfather does whatever the Allfather does, and, you know, no one's really going to stop him from doing anything that he wants. And we kind of just learned about the greatest of the dragons, Frafnog. He was the last to leave his mother's nest. He consumed the eggshells of all of his dragon siblings, and in so doing learned the secrets of their yoke, which means like he was able to give them true names. He knows their minds, and he basically has mastery over all of these other dragons because he consumed the thing that they were born in, which I think is very cool from a lore standpoint. Hey Pat, welcome in. Isn't that like Santa Claus? It's not unlike Santa Claus. If Santa Claus dispensed like terrible catastrophes and occasionally some magic and also life. Yeah. Can I mention a huge that is getting funds to pay off military vets' hospital debts? Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome. Look up Black Rifle Coffee and hospital bills. Hell yeah. Black Rifle Coffee and hospitals. I'm gonna look up that right now. Black Rifle Coffee hospital bills. Hey, nice. Very, very cool. I like coffee. I bought 5 bags on Tuesday. Man, I'm almost out of coffee, actually. I'm drinking tea tonight. It's really good tea, but it's not coffee. But anyway, that's where we left off. So we're kind of still with Frafnog. Other thing with him is that he got into this staring contest with the Allfather, because the Allfather was like coming down to see these new dragons, and all of the other dragons kind of left the nest, but Frafnog remained staring at the Allfather. And the Allfather eventually got bored after like a few years of this and went off to do Allfathery things. And Frafnog stayed, and in his mind, because he didn't flinch and didn't look away from the Allfather, and the Allfather left him, he's like, I really showed him. So he thinks that he's better and stronger than the Allfather. And that's kind of where we were left. So we're going to get back into it. Thank you all for hanging out. This is very lovely. Grab yourself a beverage, put on a cozy blanket or a cozy sweater, or don't, because I'm not the boss of you. And we're going to get into some lore. Trolls are. Upon Aihrde's departure, Aihrde is also the Allfather. Aihrde is the name of the world, and it's also the name of the Allfather. Upon Aihrde's departure, Frafnog moved from the nest and into the world, for he sought to know all he could and understand the order of things. He found the deep places of the world denied to him, but the wide open world indifferent. He stole upon Mordias in a grove of trees and spoke with her at great length, seeking secrets by which he could hold sway over the world, just as, according to his fancy, he held sway over the Allfather. Mordias could not look into the dragon's mind and therefore mistrusted him. Because of this, she made the world aware of Frafnog, so that ever after, the forests and plants of Aihrde would not hide the dragon kind. I like that tidbit of lore, that you won't find dragons, like, surprising you in the forest or in the plains or anything like that. Frafnog rose then to the skies and passed through the Wall of Worlds, for he had found the secret way by carefully watching the journey of the sisters, the sun and moon. He found Corthane in his dwelling beyond the edge of the world, in the fortress of Aihrde. Corthane welcomed the dragon to his realm, and there he passed such a discourse that Frafnog learned more than ever he hoped he might. Corthane is like the god of justice. He saw then that he had not bested Aihrde in his beginning, rather that Aihrde had merely grown bored and restless with him and moved on. He learned that Corthane's might was untested and unspent, and that while others spun themselves into the fabric of the world, Corthane stood upon the grass, in the ever-blowing wind, aloof above all, little tainted from the moment of his own creation. The dragon grew uneasy, and a fear gnawed at him as he talked with Corthane, and in that moment he came to fear Corthane, for he saw the iron of law and the guiding hand of justice, and in that, the death of his freedom. I like Aihrde a lot, although I find the plethora of deities are confusing, but I love the classic Anglo-Saxon Tolkien-esque feel. Dude, thank you. Once you read the Codex of Aihrde a few times, you get it down. The blowing wind bothered the dragon ever after, for it was freedom that the dragon loved most of all. He was freed of the fetters of creation, freed of the doom of those bound to others. His power was raw, uncorrupt, and his alone to dispense as he desired. Frafnog left Corthane and wandered the world once more. In time, he ruled over all dragons, at least as much as dragons can ever be ruled. For dragons have the power of their own freedom and bend to another's will only reluctantly and with great pain. Frafnog used the secret of their yokes to grant them names, and these names carried from one generation to the next for all time, and in this they heard the echo of the nest of their birth. The nest of dragons, where all of the dragons were originally born by Inza. Laid? Their eggs were laid? It's where Inza had the dragons. The nest of dragons is reputed a place of great wonder to the Wyrms, for here all their ancestors came to be. At its heart stands a pool of clear, red water, from which runs a fountain that tumbles down the flanks of the mountain. In the fountain's water lies eternal life for any and all who bathe in it. This nest the drakes have always sought. For its location they misremembered and forgot it to all but the very oldest of the beasts, and even those ancient creatures cannot find it, for the world has utterly changed. As is known, Frafnog, the greatest of dragons, hid the nest in confusion and doubt, so that ever after those who sought the nest lost their way, and it is not known if any have ever found it again. That's a quest hook. I don't care who you are, that's a challenge. But the introduction of dragons into the world was never peaceful, for they brought with them a carelessness of action that summoned the wrath of the gods. In those early days, they bore the power of Inza in them, as did their first several clutches. First Mordius warred with them, and then Orndul, and in the last Corthane came down from the fortress of Aihrde, and gathered about him a host of Fae, and fell upon them. It was in those days that Corthane fashioned himself a winged steed, with long legs and a noble snout, a white coat, and a yellow mane. He fashioned armor for his mount and himself, and took up weapons of his own design. And seeing the great number of dragons and the damage they wrought, Corthane set to the forge and fashioned the Aramus, the Rune Maidens. These maidens were the mirror of his eye, for they possessed a singular purpose. He armed them with weapons of steel and armor, and gave them steeds fashioned after his own. The Rune Maidens departed from the fortress of Aihrde, and rode the winds of the great empty. Following their grim master, they broke through the wall of worlds and came to Aihrde, and there Corthane unleashed them upon the world. Battles raged across the heavens as the gods and their minions hunted the dragons. Much of creation was lost or changed, and many of the lesser Val Ericune perished. If it's your first time here, Val Ericune is kind of the name of the major named gods of Aihrde. Orndul had the worst of all these duels, when the dragon Inaltex, cobalt blue, long and sinewy, opened a rift in a cave he cherished. He took her by the snout and pulled her beneath the curtain of dark confusion, and a great fear descended upon her, for no dragon, as of yet, had seen the darkness of death. And she bit him upon his face, and tore out his eye so that he fell back into his own madness. Inaltex then rose on high and took to the heavens, where she swallowed the eye. It burned her like a jewel of fire, tearing a hole in her guts, and she vomited it forth, spitting it into the wide world. Where it landed, none can say, but Orndul suffered blind in that eye ever after, and man and dwarf have long sought the eye, for it is said to possess wondrous power. That's another quest hook. I don't care who you are. I read that and I'm like, I want to go find it. How hard could it be? I went geocaching one time. In their youth, the dragons drove the gods back, but never for long. Mordias ruled the world wherever things grew, and the Evorgan were her comrades. The Evorgan are the early trees, which were in this time a sentient race. They were kind of the first race of people in Aihrde. Hey, Jeff, how's it going? Candor speaking from beyond the grave. Hey, dead Candor here. How's it going? It's lovely to see you. Thanks for popping in. Gotta go take care. Thanks for popping in, Pastor Welby. It's very, very good to see you. But yeah, Scottish Jeff is, we both played in a Guild Superior game last night. His character Candor unfortunately died. He was the primary cleric, I was the backup cleric, and we had a time. It's such a bummer that Candor died. He was such a good character. He was just a good guy. But where were we? Oh. The Evorgan were the comrades of Mordias. Whoops. They felt a kinship with her that they shared with no other, for it was from her beginnings that they first took root. And Orndul commanded the dark passages of the world, and no drake ever overcame the subtleties of his mind, which were the passages of his caverns. And few could stand against the decrees of Corthane, whose wrath was terrible to behold, and whose voice fell from Aiul like a javelin that no armor could withstand. His voice found the flaw of all things, but one. In time, the dragons learned humility, and the gods had the better of them. What's the one thing? What's the one thing? It doesn't say. I don't think it ever says. Frafnog stood apart from all these struggles and sought only to master the language, but in this was foiled. His voice could not intone the necessary nuance, so that in the end, though he knew the language, he could not use it. He found in his travels a range of mountains that overlooked the sea, from which he could see the sun or moon cast back upon the amber waves, and he took up residence there. He made himself a great lair, dug from the earth and filled with the riches of his many adventures, and from the supplicants who came to pay him homage. Even now, nestled in the heart of the Kolk Crab Mountains, he is one of only a handful of all the world who remember the days before days. When at last the dragons settled into the world and spread far and wide, Aihrde knew peace, and all things grew in abundance for days without number. But the All-Father grew restless once more, and sought to add to his perfection. I forgot that we were in the days before days. But not anymore. We're leaving the days before days and entering the beginning of days. So the only sentient race at this time were the Valericune and the trees, the Evorgan, which were made by Mordias. What a emotional thing for her to mistrust the dragons and Inza, and for Inza to see her creation, the Evorgan, which walk the world, the first thinking, feeling creatures of the world of Aihrde, and tell her creator, the Allfather, that she wants them. And so for Mordias to have to share that, ooh. Anyone who knows a mama bear type friend would ooh, it just sounds painful. But anyway, with that we conclude the first oration of Aihrde. do we begin the second oration and read that for 10 minutes, or do we just hang out? It feels like a good place to stop, but we can keep going. What do you guys think? Let me know. Because I don't think we'll get very far in the second oration. It's cool, just a lot of info and hard to properly convey the right feel. Yeah, that's super true. So I decided to do a homebrew world instead, so I have freedom to do whatever. I like that too, yeah. I feel like you can easily swap out a lot of the Val Ericune for like, this one's the goddess of nature, and this one's the evil one, and this is the chaos god, and this is the sea. And it kind of like, it's one of those things where it doesn't really matter. However, I will say the Codex of Aihrde is split into two parts. One half is the Andanuth, which we're reading right now, but the first half is the Almanac, and the Almanac has all of like the shorthand information for like all of the gods, and it lays it out in a pretty concise, like intuitive way. If you didn't know that, if that helps. Read, break that bubble. Let's do it. Second oration of the beginning of days, wherein the All-Father grants life to the dwarves, the men and giants, and also halflings and gnomes. The rise of the Red God and the fortifying of time and his contests, of the coming of the merfolk and the love of gods. The chroniclers account this the second Rin upon the Arc of Time. Need to log off. Thanks for the reading. Take care. Lord Rod, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you for hanging out. It was lovely to see you here. Hope to see you next week. Have a lovely rest of your week and a great weekend. I did like the fact that the Val Ericune are disconnected from the world, so the Val Austerlich, yeah, are the most active in their stead. Yeah, it's almost like saints, even though they are gods. They feel more like saints to me, even though they are like ascended to godhood. I think you were the main cleric. You saved two party. Oh my god, dude, you like just swung a sword. You all but took care of one of those guys by yourself. If not for everything that you did, we would not have walked out of that at all. We would have 100% TPK'd. Oh my god, I forgot about the Val Tolmith. Fuck. How many times have I read this book? I forgot about them. You're right. Okay. Alright, let's see how far we get. Of the foul Aihrde. The rhythm of ages settled across the wide world, and Aihrde, the Allfather, watched the bountiful harvest of the Arc of Time. Wide plains of grass carpeted much of the world, washing hills, dales, and highland prairies in tides of green, and they were fenced by towering snow-capped mountains. Flowers bloomed in the fields, and forests abounded on the banks of tumultuous rivers and broad lakes. Rivers flowed, lakes pooled, and the oceans moved to and fro. Beasts fair and foul made tracks through the forests and plains. They climbed hills and mountains, cavorted in the blue heavens, and swam in the shallow waters, or drifted in the deep places of the world. Dragons hunted far and wide, driving the ecstasy of Inza before them. The lesser of the Val Ericune began the rituals, and the gods settled into their rhythms, guiding the world and laying their thoughts upon it. Aihrde looked upon all these things and was pleased, but was not entirely content, for the world seemed incomplete and hollow. The trees spoke softly, and the gods labored on their own designs. The seasons unfolded, bringing rain or snow or hot or cold, and it seemed to Aihrde that the world stood still and his labors incomplete. He thought then to make a race of creatures to fill the silence of the world, not with noise, but with creation. In the end, he returned to his labors, shaping the greatest and most fell of his creations, for after the dwarves, the world would never be the same. Any of you who follow Trollord Games on TikTok or have seen me posting these links to our social media, I just made 2 videos about this chapter. We're doing more like bite-sized little lore videos. We just talked about the creation of the dwarves and then the story of Anderoth, the dwarven sailor. So this might be familiar for some of you. Aihrde labored long and hard upon his forges, pounding upon the substance of creation. At first he could not shape with his vision, and he became angry, and his anger fired the forge. He used his tools and lit the embers of desire with the language, and tried to force the shape he saw, but this did not work as he intended. He shook the stuff in his hands, shaping it into molds, but the molds, once set, became hard and would not change. He bellowed at the iron and stone that served him, for it was unyielding. He raged against it, and his voice rent the heavens, so that huge bolts of light tore the fabric of the air, echoes which remained ever after, in places far and away, returning at times in raging storms. In this way, thunder and lightning came and spoiled the gentle rains. From that day to this, as often as not, the echoes of the Allfather's rage carried through the heavens, unleashed in thunder-clad bolts and winds that turned to deadly storms. The Allfather fashioned many forms upon the forge. Some were tall and thick, but they did not capture the image in his mind, and he set them aside. Others were shorter than the first, but these proved too frail. All these he pushed aside, though he bore them no ill will. In the last, he took up his great hammer and smashed it into the molds, and the hammer itself shattered. A blinding light exploded across the world, followed by a concussion that rolled over hill and dale. The shards of the hammer flew high, burning white as they fell back to the earth, bursting into flame as they passed back through the clouds. They fell to earth in a rain of fire, the likes of which the world has never seen, nor shall ever see again. Thus, the ear-gilled metal came to Aihrde, and it lay in the earth, buried where it fell in those long-ago days. And the dwarves lusted for it like gold, for it came from the Allfather, whom the dwarves had named, and was powerful beyond understanding. We'll get there. Before even the iron fell to earth, Aihrde howled in rage, and he took the substance and shaped it with his own hands, bending it to his insurmountable will, twisting it into the shape and form he desired. At last, tired and spent, Aihrde brought the dwarves into being and breathed the breath of life into them, passing a portion of his essence into the dwarven folk. And the first of them opened their eyes and saw him, shrouded in stormy heavens, lit with the fires of his shattered hammer, then fell to earth. Aihrde wondered at his creation. They were odd to him, not filled with the beauty of the world, but rather its strength and his anger. He looked upon them for a great while, and they returned his gaze without fear, but with a love that only stone can know. A love hardened in the furnace of creation, as iron or other metals, and one that roots deep in the earth. The first of the dwarves to speak called upon him, naming him then in the speech of his people, Aihrde, which is Father of all things, or Creator, or in its simpler form, Allfather. His words were as stone, and reflected the iron will that Aihrde set into the dwarves. Aihrde, we see that you stand over the world, and that yours is the spring from which all things come. What would you have of us? Set the price so that we might pay the debt. This dwarf was Hrothgar, and named the greatest of all the fathers of dwarves for his unflinching courage. I forgot for a second that dwarven leaders are also called Allfathers. If you weren't hearing Aihrde and Allfather enough in the Codex of Aihrde. Though others quailed at the speech, the Allfather heard it and knew that it carried no threat or hint of malice. Rather, the weight of stone was in it. And even as a stone sees the world, so too do the dwarves. All things are transient, held to the ravages of wind and rain, but the stone stands to the last, hard. Aihrde did not answer Hrothgar, but returned to the forge of creation. But the dwarves took heed of Aird's silence, and saw the answer in his actions. It came to them then, in those early days of their lives, that they must pay the debt in kind, that the Allfather created for the joy of creation, and so too must the dwarves. Ever after they labored in the making of things, in fashioning homes and tools, in shaping rocks, carving mines, building towers, and later walls of wood and stone. Each dwarf came into the world with the debt of life upon their soul, and it was his or hers to repay the Allfather by leaving something behind, great or small. This they called the Andanuth, the debt of life. Through it, the desire of the forge became the fire of their lives. They also took from the Allfather that actions speak where words must fail, and always they set aside pointless deliberation once their minds settled on a task. I think that's where we'll end it. It's about that time. Thank you all for hanging out. I love the creation of the dwarves, and I love that dwarves are kind of the star of the show in Aihrde. Elves and humans and like gnomes and like all the other races are really cool, but it's nice to see the dwarves getting their flowers. They deserve the world. Oh, the reading is so epic. Man, thank you. I really appreciate it. Like the Cimmerillion, maybe we'll do that one next. Maybe we'll do the Mabinogion. I have that one downstairs. Maybe I might understand it better if I read that one out loud. Thank you all for hanging out. I gotta stop here more often. Pleasure rolling dice with you yesterday. Please do. It would be so awesome to see you here more often. It's always a pleasure to see you, Jeff. And I had a great time playing with you and with like all of the other players. Like you guys you made me feel so welcome at your table, and it's not always like that when you like join a new group. So like thank you all for like just being so cool to me and making me feel like part of the gang right away. It was awesome. You all are fantastic. Man, thank you guys so much for the positivity tonight. This is so nice. No one can resist chat. It's the Doom Tuba, what can I say? I've been sitting on a copy of the Mabinogion so long. Should I be reading it? Here's the thing, I read it in college, cover to cover. Do I remember any of it? It's about King Arthur, right? Is the Mabinogion about the legend of King Arthur? Maybe. We'll do it together. This will become like fantasy book club, and we'll read through dense medieval texts. It'll be great. I've only read the version presented in Bullfinch's mythology. Oh yes, the special edition from Bullfinch's mythology. Which is good, but it's like, that sounds awesome. That's really cool. I bet that does a lot for the readability of the Mabinogion. It's very cool, but man, it's just like hacking through vines in a jungle trying to read that book. I caved, ordered the new Codex bundle. Here's the thing. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have an awesome time with the Codex bundle. Appendix N Club. Dude, okay, so Jeremy has read Appendix N. I have not even looked at the list. I didn't know what Appendix N was when I started working for TLG, and people were referencing it, and I was like, oh yeah, the Appendix N. The PDFs are gorgeous enough. Aren't they though? They're so good. And this is like a little thing, but I really like that Infernum's pages are red and Exaltum's pages are blue. It's just such a nice little like detail, you know what I mean? Can't wait for the actual books. You're gonna love them. I hope you love them. If not, yell at me in product support and we'll make it right. But yeah. Let's find somebody to raid. Who's doing stuff? Why don't we visit Jay? Let's raid into Lord Kazumba. That's always a lovely, lovely community. Thank you all for joining me tonight. This fucking ruled. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Your attention is valuable. And I never take for granted that people are gonna like come hang out on a Wednesday night. You could be doing anything on a Wednesday night. The world is open to you, and you chose to spend it here with me, a nerd on Twitch. So thank you all for like spending an hour of your time with me tonight. It's always a highlight of my week, and I'm always very pleased to see you all here. So thanks for hanging out. Can't wait for the next one next week. We will be back with another Ends Meet on Monday. And then on Wednesday, I'll be back here. On Saturday, this Saturday, I think I'm joining Guild Superior again for a Shadow Dart game. My first Shadow Dart game ever. We'll see if I survived. Fingers crossed. But yeah, have an amazing night, all of you guys, and thank you again. Thank you for for the awesome support tonight. Blew my mind with that, and just for being here and joking around with me. It's always a pleasure. So go in peace, make the words, do good. I'll see you next week. And that's all I got. Goodbye.